Smile for the camera, girl. What is that? Is that a tripod? Hey guys. I just thought I would pop on here just to kind of pick back up where I left off and get back into the groove of just recording these little moments, and then who knows when I'll post them, if I'll post them. I just feel like we've kind of reached a little mini turn of the tables in this journey, and so I just wanted to document it. And I am dog sitting again. If you guys have been following along on my journey, then you might recognize this precious little face back here. The last time I dog sat her was back in January when I was literally doing the trigger shot for IUI number 3, which I just feel like that seems so far away, yet it kind of also just seems like it was yesterday. And I can't believe it's been almost like 4 or 5 months since I've done any fertility treatments and even have seen my fertility doctor. Where has the time gone? But it is May 9th. I'm excited for what's to come and what this last half of the year is gonna be about. So just the month of May, even April, like just felt like pruning. It felt like cleansing. It just felt like the anticipation for a fresh start. But anyways, let me just get right into it because yeah, I don't really know what the last update was. I think I was just telling you guys about this holistic approach that Alex and I have been doing since like mid-January, since that last IUI. And so we've just committed to this program. We did their 6-week like crash course program in like January, February, and then we had the opportunity to like roll over and transition into their 12-week more in-depth program. So a total, it's like 18 weeks or something. So that's just what we've been doing, and we only have like 3 or 4 weeks left, which is crazy. But that's been our like main focus. So there really hasn't been anything else fertility wise going on outside of that. So it's been great to just focus on a healthier lifestyle, a healthier version of me, while also still just like enjoying life and trying naturally if we feel like it, and just really using this program as a nice reset. Because if IVF is in our future, or further fertility testing or treatments, like hopefully regardless, my body is now in a better shape for whatever is to come. But since we are like at the tail end of it and in the home stretch, I've been thinking about next steps. From the beginning, Alex and I agreed to see this program through, right? And then try naturally for a couple months afterwards. But then we don't want to go on for too long because I'm not getting any younger, Alex isn't getting any younger, and like we've already been at this for 2.5 years. So like we are ready now more than ever to welcome a baby into this home, hopefully soon. And so we agreed to kind of ride it out through the summer as far as trying naturally, still putting these program strategies into play. Like I definitely think now that we've been at it for, what's that math, like 14, 15 weeks, like it definitely feels like a lifestyle change. It doesn't feel like a chore anymore. It doesn't feel hard anymore. Like I feel like my body is actually resetting as far as just even my like perspective on food and diet and exercise and sleep. And I just feel like my mind has genuinely been like retrained, which is great. This feels like a new normal. Like I said, since we are at the tail end and we're approaching the summer, and Alex and I agreed to kind of try naturally throughout the summer, but then at the end, if nothing sticks or nothing works, then we will revisit our fertility clinic and maybe even revisit IUI first before going up to IVF, because now that our bodies are both hopefully in better shape, then maybe that will increase our chances of being successful with IUI. I think I've said this from the very beginning, like my mindset has always been to use wisdom, be responsible with the education and the wisdom that I do gain, and to do my part. And and get to the point where I can literally say, I've tried everything in my human strength to find answers, to make things work, to get pregnant naturally, to get pregnant in general, to be healthy, to have a successful pregnancy, a successful birth, all those things. Like, I want to be able to have that peace of mind that I've tried everything that I could before really doing something like IVF. So before diving into that, which I feel like that's like the last stop in my fertility journey, and honestly in the fertility world, like, unless you've been told that you just cannot get pregnant naturally, or it's just not possible, or maybe you don't even have like a uterus or fallopian tube, like those things, then I believe that's what IVF was created for. Like, literally for those impossible situations where like you actually need medical intervention to assist you, or to do surrogacy or egg donors or whatever. But I haven't been told that. From what I know, everything looks normal, everything feels normal. It looks like I have the ability to be able to carry my own child one day. So that's what tells me that there's something deeper, there's something underlining that none of these tests have discovered. And so that's what led us to this holistic approach, because I'm like, maybe it's our diet, maybe it's our lifestyle, because we haven't really tapped into that yet. Now that we have, we can cross that off the list. We've crossed all this testing off the list, and now I feel like there's one more step to take before truly crossing off everything on the list. And that's what leads me to today's update, which is about potentially me getting a laparoscopy done. Now, I've always heard this term of laparoscopy. I've always heard this surgery, especially being down this road. And to my knowledge, up until now, what the purpose of that was to go in and actually diagnose someone who has endometriosis specifically. And I might have mentioned this in past videos too, about endometriosis in general, how I've never had any symptoms. No doctors or medical professionals have ever been concerned, have ever suggested it, have ever wondered about it for me. And so it's always just kind of been off to the side. Now, fast forward to 2.5 years of doing this and literally feeling like I've tried everything else and have tried to find answers in all the right places. It seems like there's one other place that I really truly haven't explored, and that's through a laparoscopy. Like, do I have endometriosis? Let's find this out for once and for all. It just seems logical for that to be on that list of what to check off when going through fertility things and trying to find answers. Because endometriosis is one of like the leading causes of infertility. So you would think you want to explore all of these outlets before then recommending someone to a fertility clinic. Because throughout these past couple months, I've heard now more than ever of women coming out about their stories dealing with something called silent endo, which is basically asymptomatic endometriosis. But infertility is a symptom of endometriosis. So these aren't just women coming out about, yeah, I have silent endometriosis and now I'm just living with it, dealing with it, maybe have to go back to the fertility clinic. Like, no, these are women who have had very similar stories to me, done all the testing, they've been trying for years, they've done the treatments, and they're healthy and they're young, and have advocated for themselves to discover for once and for all if they have silent endometriosis. They did the laparoscopy, they confirmed that they had it, they cleared it out, and now they're pregnant, or now they have their first child. So all that to say, it's piquing my interest and it's resonating with me. So I feel like I said from the beginning, I gotta use my wisdom, I gotta be responsible for what I'm hearing, for what I'm learning, and I gotta do something about it. And so I feel like maybe this is where I fit in. Maybe God is using all these other stories to point me in that direction and to say, hey, these women have gone through similar things to me, like maybe I should kind of follow in their footsteps and discover if I have silent endometriosis like all these women did. And the thing with endometriosis is it is treatable, and through this surgery, if you can actually confirm it, they can, in that same surgery, scrape it out, get it out, and after just a couple weeks or a couple months of recovery, your chances of conceiving naturally are pretty high. I don't know, I feel like hearing myself say all this out loud and kind of process it out loud makes me think like this is God's guidance, like he's making these stories come out just at the right time, just for me to hear this so I can do something about it right when my body is at its optimal hormonally, physically, emotionally. And what better time to do a procedure or to do any surgery than when your body is in its optimal state, because your chances of healing and recovering are just a lot better and should be a lot easier from what I've heard. Like I said, IVF was on the horizon, but maybe we can delay that a little bit longer because there's this other route that I feel like is a genuinely good move to make and the cheaper thing to do before, like I said, ending at IVF, because that does feel like our last stop. So all that to say, honestly, over the past like 7 days, this whole mental shift has happened. And I reached out to a couple of these women who have these similar stories, and they've sent me their surgeon recommendations and their clinic recommendations, one of which is located in Jacksonville, Florida. So I reached out to that clinic first just to see what all the hype was about. And I just sent in my information on their website, and I got a call within like 48 hours. And next thing I know, I have my virtual consultation next Friday. And then I have my first in-person ultrasound with them in 2 Fridays from now. I'm happy that it is happening so soon because I want to make sure I'm doing my part and getting ahead of the game, because I don't know how long it actually takes to schedule the surgery part. Basically, it's just a laparoscopic surgery done through a few incisions in my tummy, and then they actually go in and I think blow up like my tummy to really see everything clearly, and they just look around for endometriosis and for lesions, and if they see something they can either burn it, which is the route I'm more familiar with, but then what I recently learned is that there's an excisional route where they can actually cut the tissue out in the surrounding areas to decrease your chances of it growing back. It just seems more like a permanent solution. Now I might get this second opinion in Jacksonville, and they just really don't recommend it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but at least I have the peace knowing I tried and I asked and I advocated and I put myself out there. So I'm very curious how it's gonna go. And I had an appointment at my OBGYN this morning just to kind of pick her brain about it, because obviously I could do the laparoscopy here in town, but apparently the best of the best is in Jacksonville, and it's like, after everything we've been through, why settle now? Especially if there's an expert or a specialist available and it's what, a 4-hour drive, and we can afford it and we can make time for it, then like, why not do that? And so now that I've learned about this excisional route, I feel like if anything, that is the route I want to advocate for, I want to fight for, I want to take if and when the time comes, because that just seems like a more wise approach. I don't know, I'm just out here being open to it all, still learning, still in the thick of this. So I'm still trusting the process and trusting God and his timing. And I just wanted to give you guys that update. And I'm also currently in the 2-week wait. Apparently my app says my period is like 2 days late, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath. I'm just saying this for documentation purposes, because I'm sure my period will come literally tomorrow. And Mother's Day is 2 days away. So that would be ironic. It's like, okay, God, I could find out I'm pregnant on Mother's Day, which would literally be perfection, or my period will come. Either way, because I see the light at the end of the tunnel and I have these next steps to focus on, I'm not really worried about the period coming, in case you're wondering, because I have something else to keep me excited and to keep me going through this journey, and hopefully to find more answers through this. So we still got lots ahead, I think. So I hope you'll stick around. I hope you'll keep praying. I definitely still feel those prayers, and I feel all the love and support from my community and my family. I could not ask to go through this journey with anyone else. It's like if I had to walk this path, right? If I had to have this struggle of infertility, I'd rather do it right here, right now, with the people that are around me, with my husband, with my loving family, with Jesus by my side, because it's made all the difference. And I do genuinely feel like I'm on this journey with you guys, because when I see some of you in person, aka my friends and family out there, and you're asking about it, or you're invested, or you're carrying this weight with me, all those things, they do not go unnoticed, and it is so, so sweet and makes all of this better. So it does help, and you are helping, even if it doesn't feel like it. Woo! Let's keep praying, let's keep trusting God, and I don't know, we'll see what's ahead. So thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you in my next video.